მამათა მონასტერია, აი ესეთ, აი ნახე, აი ამას უყურე. ეს არის მონასტერი. ეს არის მონასტერი. მე ამ ქვეყნისთვის ვიომე, ვეტერანი ვარ. ამ ტიპულისთვის, აი ამისთვის არ მიომია. ამისთვის არ მიომია მე აქა. ამისთვის არ მიომია, რომ აი ეს მომავალი თაობა მივიღო მე. ხა გავდივართ ჩვენად. ჩვენი შვილი გაზარდეთ.
No, it was crazy. And they were like, there is a church that we are building, and why are you here? You Satan. I don't know. It was crazy.
At some point, I was literally ready that this guy would punch me, you know? I had like 911 on my phone because I was sure that he would punch me. And I was like, I'm ready.
She was
and
ready.
I was not backing back. I was not backing as well.
So. She was like, you were really feisty.
But you were strong with them too.
You were like, really
you were fighting for your rights.
Of course.
But that doesn't mean that I would not get beaten.
Yeah, but like that's what Georgia means. Like when you're a woman here, you have to be tough.
Yeah.
You have to be tough.
You have to protect yourself.
It's like it's not that like somebody calls you beautiful woman or something like that, but they were like say shame on you because you like we're sexy and you trying to.
Yeah, you're trying to spell me or like put a spell.
Don't be pretty. Like pretty is okay, but
I think that people have like a little bit problems with seduction situations, you know. And I think it's amazing to have this power, like when you feel yourself and like put yourself out there and I don't know, be sexy, and people get crazier and they think are you smoking cigarettes? Then are you going to club?
If you're going to club, you're not welcome in my home.
Yeah,
it's like.
Actually, like
you are going to clubs.
Yeah, but we're going to clubs and we party.
Yeah.
And we
party.
And actually, us doing this trap house party and having the pole dancing, I've heard about myself that I'm pimp.
Oh yeah.
But
I heard
you're a pimp.
So it's kind of like running an agency.
Yeah, I have girls.
Yeah.
You have to.
We have girls that you can look, but not touch.
It's like I think it's art, you know. Yeah. And when you're feeling yourself and you're dancing and you're doing this kind of things, you know, it's like I think it's.
And
beautiful.
also like dance strip is really hard. It's not something like different type of dances because like you lifting
You need
yourself.
some physical power.
Yeah.
It needs and mentally I don't even talk about it because like mentally being stripper here in Georgia is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like if you're married and you do that stuff, because like I'm married, I have kids, I have 3 kids, but my husband is super happy for everything I do in my life. But still, like having trap house parties and being mom is like also like when I go to my son's classmates like meeting, like mom's meeting and stuff, and they ask me what do you do, and when I'm still like I DJ and I have my party with the pole dancing. They be looking at me strange. Not you being a mom and having like pole dancing parties. It's but
Trap house, baby, all day long, baby. Ain't nobody stopping that party, bro.
Cool. What time are you on?
It's K-Way Signy, and this is Coco, a Vogue dancer. I do pole dancing. We both do drag and a million other things that also all other females do. I'm actually like a trans non-binary person, but obviously like I share like female experience And did you see like the statue? I think there's one in Kiev as well, and also in like Yerevan and all this Passover. Yeah, so that kind of represents like how women are perceived in these countries. It's like idealized someone who can also protect, who's a warrior, and also someone who can be nurturing and protective and like sensitive and vulnerable. So you always like you're raised with this version of a female that you should like try to attain, but you can never be. So like your entire life you're like just like striving to become a perfect woman.
That must be a lot of pressure.
Yes. And yeah, so in comparison to that, then you have like this kind of a male version that is like represented in like literally I don't know, in every sort of media, in like historical figures, this that, and it's like it's just so easy to be like a perfect man, and like everybody can become one with like such a low effort, and like for women it's like you have to put in your 110 and you can just never be perfect. So first, like when I appeared to the scene, people didn't really know how to like categorize me, and I was like still falling under this like hetero umbrella or whatever. Yeah, and then like I guess like just me just being loud and vocal about who I am, you know, like my sexuality, my identity, my like gender identity. It gave a lot of like representation, and people are less and less like becoming less and less afraid to actually question their gender identity. And also I'm very vocal about like feminism and like women's rights, obviously, and I think it's becoming like less and less problematic to talk about male domination in the scene, be it like in queer culture, in like culture in general, in club scene. So I mean, I don't know, like a couple of years ago you would be condemned as like a very problematic person if you talked about like how females are not being represented, lesbians are not represented, you know, it's like males mostly, and it's more attractive and more interesting. But now it's kind of changing and it's becoming very okay and normal to talk about this.
And that, yes. So it's one boom, and that's into the mouth. It goes snake venom. So snake, snake, there. No! You can lose the head a little bit back. It's not over there. My name is Maggie.
Yes.
My pronouns are she, her. And I am a performer and an artist. Yes. Up, down, continue around, zigzag. So it's really, really important that you go from here back to do the zigzag. Come to here. So, yes, on the butt. Yes. And this one slow-mos, kind of. I think pole dancing or just like moving in a feminine way, that's like my like raw nature. That's how my body wants to move. Yeah. That's how I want to express. Not necessarily like dressing feminine, but just the way that I move, that's what comes out, you know, or the language that I like to use. I don't think that I perform for the male gaze at all. I very much try my best to perform sexual, sensual energy from the inside and out and not from the outside in. And I think that people are taught to perform sensuality from a way that's inside out or outside in. And so when I saw that the way that people reacted to my expression and my art was like very liberating, I think.
Nice.
I think so. I hope so, at least. But I think that was what I recognized. And
nice.
Yes, actually, it's kind of to make it like this, and then stretch it out. And when it stretches, you're gonna sit with it. Okay? I moved here during a really hard time of my life. where I just kind of felt like I needed to escape my own identity or everything that I had built up and I, you know, kind of like define myself as. So Georgia is like this strange gray zone in between continents, in between nations, religions, like everything surrounding is not at all like Georgia, like similar to Georgia. So for me, it was a place where I could just completely disappear and just rage, you know, which is probably not necessarily what like the normal average Georgian do. But for me, it became a place where I could like do that and just be, you know, messy, which I was.
I really wanted to listen to trap music rather than techno. And also, I had touch with strip clubs in New York, and I really wanted to express my experience in Tbilisi, and it really worked nice.
Yeah, but it was also very risky for us to start this kind of the party series because we wouldn't know how would people accept this kind of the performances because there are not much places like strip clubs, to say it roughly, to go and see the performances of the girls, and it's more likely people see it like a place for the men to have fun, as I mentioned. So we wanted to promote this art direction, like more of an art and space for the women to express themselves, their body.
I also can do some like charming stuff, which I'm doing mostly with the guys in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my favorite part. I got my crystals, girl. My friends created this evening.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time where it was not just the techno-based event.
Yeah.
And it was so needed in Georgia. And this is the first stage which this trap nights like gave us. This is like the woman can express themselves in an artistic way, not in the way that men can look at them as a meat. Who is like really tasty and they want to try it. No, we see the woman who is expressing themselves in a really hard way. This woman who is performing tonight, like, are superheroes for me. Like, they're doing the massive stuff. They're expressing themselves fully without like any, how to say that? Like, they're expressing themselves, not hiding their faces, not hiding their personas. And it's a huge, because in the end of the day, someone can say like, oh, you're a strip dancer. And it was always like, you're being whole or someone.
Like
in Georgian, you're in Georgia still, if you're gonna say someone that you are a pool dancer, that they're not have this idea or narrative like you're an artistic. No. They will say you're a slut. You're a slut who just like getting pleasure for a man.
So,
shut the fuck up.
Who is she? Who is she? Who is Lucrezia? I saw her on stage just now. I saw like I followed a lot of Lucrezia also before on Instagram with like some huge dresses and this and that. But I think she's very elegant. Yeah. But she's kind of this like Donatella Versace kind of girl.
Because all the time like fashion was part of me. So I'm trying to like mix the fashion and my expression. But you know, all the time like Georgian drag queens, I'm not gonna talk about myself. Like Georgian drag queens are expressing themselves in a dramatic way. In a dramatic way, I mean like they're super depressed in the way the environment are giving them the pressure. So in this case, like everyone has this dramatic expression. So I'm also having this dramatic expression because it's the only way, it's the only stage where I can say what I want to say loud. Because in the other cases, I'm in my room, like everybody's saying you should like have sex in the like room, not show up yourself. You should like be in the like shadows. You should not express yourself fully. But the clubs is the only place where we can express ourselves. Otherwise, we're harassed in every place still.
Oh, I love it. Slay, baby.
I think at the first event, I saw many errored faces of the guys, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they couldn't even react properly. But nowadays, they are more like already waiting for the parties to come to have some proper fun, you know.
We still have that stigma in Georgia, which is girls are really shy to even try to pole dancing, not on Traphouse, but like in general. They be going and taking classes for that, but I was trying to invite the girls on Traphouse, and they still shy for that one.
And they were like, it's just for myself.
Yes, I feel like they're not ready because of the family or boyfriends or stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like they still need more time to try to show their bodies.
Actually, I think the people's mentality must change. Empowerment of the women from us is like the key to the future, to create more like powerful women who believe in themselves, who want to show themselves, who want to introduce to themselves. So I think it's really important for us to work for this. Maybe sometimes we don't have that much of a motivation to do it because of the people surrounding us, because of the thought they're telling us. I think the nice criticism is really acceptable, but I think you don't have to listen to everybody's opinion. Like, you have to do your job.
We're like, we're angry. Why aren't we doing it? And it's like, we want to find some angry women. Maybe they also want to do it and let's make a community of angry women. Yeah, that's exactly how I found her. Yes, like,
She was very angry.
You seem angry. Do you want to join? Yeah. Okay, so we are Diaci Community. Diaci Community co-founders, and my name is Guanța Utura, and this is
Salome.
And Salome also. We have double Salome. So we started this community almost a year ago. For now, we do small podcasts. We record female musicians.
Not only musicians, the females in music industry. Yeah. And the idea came like 1 year ago when me and Guanța were at some close party, and there were a lot of people from music industry, and she was looking around and then asking me like, where are the women? It's like, why are like me, you, okay, two people, there are no musicians, like why and how?
It was basically a boys club, and yes, I mean they're all very nice people.
Yeah, we love them.
Yeah, we love them. we have nothing against them, but yeah, it felt really weird because like even asking for something was like you could not find a woman there. You could find some, but they were mostly like designers and like graphic designers, people like this, very interesting people. But like when it comes to music industry itself, there were no women there. So
he's protecting us.
During the party, we were like, do we even know some female musicians? You know, do we know women who are in music industry? And then we started counting down, and we're like, could not go over like 5, 7, and we're like, oh god, this is really bad because we've been in this industry for a while. In some cases, like I'm a journalist, and they're selectors. Marta has worked with clubs and everything, so we were in this industry in some way, and we were like, that might be an issue that we don't know them. So we started gathering people.
And then we started podcasts to talk with these people and ask them what's their experience.
We didn't know a lot of people, so we posted on Instagram, on Facebook. We asked around, and everybody were like, "Oh, I have this friend, and she makes amazing music, but she doesn't like to come out and actually play anywhere." So she was very interesting, and then we started collecting these people, and like 80% of them even we didn't know. Females are raised as the side character,
and we're not raised as like a main characters. And when it comes to alternative music, and when it comes to punk especially, it's a very main character music, right? You express what you feel, you express your anger, but when you're like not a main character, you don't know where do you stand in
and
this?
you're not confident, and they're actually, we know this boy band and they're so confident, they have very good support system, brotherhood, and there is no such a support system as a sisterhood, we should say. So that's how idea came to, let's speak about that. Why is this happening?
Let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
Any type of knowledge sharing, any type of just experience sharing is very important, and this is also what Diaci stands for, and this is why I think the SheSpace initiative is fantastic in Tbilisi, and the workshops that we do and everything that you guys are doing is fantastic, and more information that will be shared, especially from women. I think I would not call ourselves a role models because it's a very big word, but I think this is what, especially for Diaci, this is what we want to show, like everyone that you think is like a big person, like we want to bring them close, and this is just a regular person trying to do whatever that person can, and you can also do it. So sharing information, doing workshops, and just talking about anything around this industry, the problems or the good parts of it is very important.
Their very first release was
Supercore scientist.
All female.
All female. Yeah, very cool one.
Yeah. It happened to be that I work most with female, right? But it's not because they're female. Sometimes when I get asked about Sleeper's Point, no, it's a fantastic project, it's a female project, but it did not start. It wasn't the agenda that we do female and then we find music. We only did it because music was there. Mm-hmm. That group had amazing music and lots of female. So music brought us this project, and not the idea of let's make a female project kind of thing. And then it's easy for me to be proud of it, not because it has good music and it's a good female music, you know what I mean? Natela Svanidze, we have discovered her recording from 1974, and it is actually a very, very first recording of Georgian electronics, basically, and it is recorded on STia 100, which is this legendary synthesizer. Back in the days, during Soviet Union, there was just one STia 100. So Natela, and it's a female. So now we have a proof of very, very first Georgian electronics, which is female. Dates back to 1974. How good is that? This is my release, and you can keep it. What? This is me. It's all piano stuff. So another label that I'm co-founder of is Georgian Music Legacy Collection, and we started it about 2 years ago, and we made 6 releases. And Georgian Music Legacy Collection says it all, and we can, just as long as it's legacy and Georgian and music, but at the moment, because of this whole political situation, we concentrate on from early 90s till around 2005, because that's when all industries ended up in ruins, and that's when there was no chance of releasing anything or vinyls or anything, but we had amazing bands at the time, like I mentioned before, that Georgian electronic music started that time. So there are lots of amazing artists, musicians in various genres. So this Georgian Music Legacy Collection label does not have the definition of genre. It's to do with time at the moment, and we choose and we pick iconic albums that we made in ruins. And because young people already have very little knowledge because it's not online, it's nowhere to be found. But the label is vinyl only. So we make all those like iconic albums on vinyls.
What is it in the water? How is it so that it's like all the major spaces, this school, like these clubs are just like run by these powerhouse women?
You know
Like
what?
church.
It's not the question I'm hearing for the first time, and I honestly don't know the answer to that. You know, I don't look at people that way ever, whether you're female or male. It's all what you want, how much energy you have, power, love, most importantly, and believe. I don't know. Because at first it's true we had more male than female. But maybe when they see you, their lecturer is like female and you running this school is female and maybe they come out of their shells. Maybe my grandmother was a very, very strong woman also and was always like everyone was around her kind of, you know. I don't know, it can be many things. So it's a very complicated question that you asked, and maybe when you finish your project, maybe you'll be the one who will give us the answer, you know?
Okay. I just want to say that I think it's really important to another girls or the younger girls just to see on the scene the girl DJs who are showing themselves.
Really, yeah.
Because there are not so many girls.
There are not
in that industry.
In trap music, especially, we don't have nobody. Yeah.
But they are like, I think the more
Oh, because it's like a stigma that like if not so many girls coming outside from the house at nighttime to do something, you know, in the club.
But it's changed, you know.
I mean, it's changed,
it's not like
but not
this
so,
for the last couple of years. No, I think they need some push to do it.
In the bubble, it changed, but outside of the bubble, it's
and the bubble is 20%.
I just think that I just think the women in Georgia are not confident enough. That's the problem. They're not confident enough that they can become nice DJs or they can have some voice in the industry.
That's why your
I
party,
think
guys,
also
is
the
really
boy DJs are
inspirational.
doing more back-to-backs with boys. And, everything. And I think, it's already something.
Also, all the clubs are run by women here
in Georgia. So. No, it is true. It's crazy.
It's true, yeah. But all the big clubs run for girls.
I love in the morning to watch on the river. I'm the control freak. I check everything every time.
I mean, that's why you managed to have a club for 12 years. Let's face it.
ძალიან სიბნელეში რო არ ვიყოთ. ან რაღაცა ნათელი სინიც, ფერებიც რომ გამოუშვა. Express yourself every time. Yes, and sometimes women are ashamed that not to be very dramatic, very emotional, and they have this code that is telling us that being emotional is very women stuff. But no, being emotional is a very human stuff, and yes, to express yourself, you need emotions and you need this emotional intellect. So, ფიქრობ, რომ ეს ქვეყანა ქალების გადარჩენილია, მithmetes ბოლო 40 წლის მანძილზე, მას შემდეგ რაც ჩვენ დამოუკიდებლობის მოპოვების ფონზე 3 ომი გამოვიარეთ და ქალებს მოუწიათ ჩართულიყვნენ ძალიან მძიმე ეკონომიკურ საქმიანობაში, ემართათ როგორც ოჯახები, როგორც დიასახლისებს, ასევე ყოფილიყვნენ სრულ დასაქმებულ გარემოში. ბევრ მათგანს, ძალიან ბევრ მათგანს მოუწია ქვეყნის დატოვებაც, რომ იქიდან ერჩინათ აქ დატოვებული ოჯახები და რაღაცნაირად ეს ქალების, თქვათ, სიძლიერე მიუხედავად ამ ხალხ რაღაცნაირი დიდი წნეხისა, ამან გააძლიერა კიდეც ქალების როლი ჩვენს ქვეყანაში. მაშინ, როდესაც საკლუბო ცხოვრება დაიწყო, არც მენეჯმენტში და პრინციპში, არც დენსფლორებზე და არც სცენაზე ბევრ ქალს ვერ შეხვდებოდით, თუმცა წლებთან ერთად ესეც შეიცვალა. ეხლა ყველა კლუბი თითქმის ქალების მიერ არის მართული ან არიან თქვათ რაღაცა ზედარგოლებში მენეჯმენტის და აქედან გამომდინარე არის ის რაღაცა უსაფრთხო და მზრუნველი გარემოც, რომელიც არსებობს ჩვენი კლუბების დენსორებზე, იმიტომ რომ თბილისი მართლაც ამ კუთხითაც გონია რომ გამორჩეული ქალაქია. აქ რაღაცნაირი ზრუნვა ერთმანეთისთვის რაღაც ხარდაჭერა და ასე შემდეგ არის ჩვენი ღამის გართობის ესეთი ძალიან მთავარი შემადგენელი ნაწილი.
Because the night belongs to lovers, because the night belongs to us. Because the night belongs to lovers, because the night belongs to us.
შევიწროების მხრივ, კანტესლორებზე ქალთა შევიწროების მხრივ, ასევე სხვა რაღაცნაირი, თქვათ, არასასურველი მოპყრობების მხრივ, თუნდაც იგივე სამუშაო გარემოში, ვფიქრობ, რომ როდესაც ქალი უყურებს ამ ყველაფერს და ქალი მართავს, ამ შემთხვევაში მეტი რაღაცნაირი უსიამოვნო გამოცდილებების აცილება ხდება თავიდან, იმიტომ რომ ჩვენ ძალიან კარგად გამოგვიცდია ჩვენ ტყავზე ყოველნაბიჯზე და ყოველდღიურად, თქვათ რა არის შევიწროება და შევიწროება ხდება კლუბებშიც, რა თქმა უნდა, ერთ-ერთი მთავარი კერა შეიძლება გახდეს კლუბი, თუ კი არასწორად არის, თქვათ, ამ საკითხზე ყურადღება მიქცეული და მე ნამდვილად ვიცი და დარწმუნებული ვარ, რომ ყველა იმ კლუბში, სადაც ესე ქალების ხმა კარგად ისმის და ხამაღლა ისმის და ისინი, თქვათ, ახერხებენ, რომ თქვათ, მენეჯმენტში იყვნენ, ან მათი, თქვათ, რაღაცა ზეგავლენა გქონდეთ, თქვათ, სხვა ნაწილებში კლუბის, ისინი აუცილებლად ქმნიან იქ უსაფრთხო გარემოს და ეს ეტყობა კიდეს ჩვენ კლუბებს. ჩვენ ქალაქში თავად შეიძლება ითქვას, რომ ძალიან უსაფრთხო. ჩვენ ქალაქში თავად შეიძლება ითქვას, რომ ძალიან უსაფრთხო და ნაკლებ რისკის შემცველი, თქვათ, დენსორები გვაქვს ქალებისთვის განსაკუთრებით და არა მარტო ქალებისთვის, თქვათ, სხვა სექსუალური უმცირესობებისთვის და სხვა
So when I became resident in 2018, it's Tamuna who took me under her wing, and she still has me and always she always holds me and helps me in any way. That's why I feel at home here, because it's really family. It's like everyone is like this, and you come here and you feel it's so easy to be here, like for artists and for the residents, and yeah.
And we found this place exactly in a day when I gave birth to my son. And after that, it took us 1.5 years to open up this place. So we worked hard to get this place and give it life. First of all, my part in the clubbing scene started when I was really young, 15. So, and for me, it's very important to have this safe space for women, for young women especially.
How do you feel about the party that Anna and Anna are doing? Because Anna told us that you really support them. What is this for you to see something completely out of your musical range here? You know, what's happening here, but this power ladies doing this thing, getting criticized but still doing it, collecting this crew around them. How do you feel about this?
I feel that it's very interesting and challenging project, which I was very skeptical from the beginning. Because in Georgia, strip culture was never associated with the music, with the clubbing, more indifferent, but they succeeded to make, merge somehow this clubbing thing and music, and it doesn't look like not nice. It's like performances more for me.
წელს 27 წელი მესრულდება, რაც ყოველ შაბათ-კვირას ვარ საკლუბო სივრცეში და ეს რას ნიშნავს, რომ მთელი ჩემი ცხოვრება თუ რას წარმოვადგენ, თუ ვინ ვარმე, განსაზღვრა ზუსტად იმ ცოდნამ და იმ გამოცდილებამ, რაც საკლუბო სივრცეებში დავაგროვე. ზუსტად საკლუბო ღამეებზე მე ვისწავლე თუ როგორ უნდა გადავრჩე ქალი აი იმ პატრიარქალ საზოგადოებაში, რომელშიც დღეს ჩვენ ცხოვრობთ იმ ქვეყანაში, რომელიც არის ძალიან კონსერვატიული და იმ სივრცეში, სადაც უმძიმესი პოლიტიკური, სოციალური და ეკონომიკური კრიზისი აქვს. ეს ყველაფერი დაიწყო 90-იან წლებში, სადაც პირველად მოხვდი იმ თბილისის რაღაც ჩაბნელებულ, ომებით განადგურებულ სივრცეში. კლუბში და ეს იყო ის ხსნა და იმიარების მოშუშების გზა, რომელიც დღემდე გრძელდება და დღემდე არის ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი როგორც ქალისთვის და ვფიქრობ, რომ ასე გაგრძელდება სამუდამოდ. მე მახსოვს პერიოდი, როდესაც საკლუბო სივრცეები იყო როგორ თქვა თითქმის მარტო ვიყავი ხოლმე ძალიან ბევრ კაცთან ერთად ვცეკვავდი ბევრ კაცებთან ერთად და თუ კი ვხედავდი ხოლმე გოგოებს რომლებიც მოდიოდნენ ძალიან დიდ მადლობას ვუხდი დაახლოებით 10 წლის წინ იყო ესეთი მდგომარეობა რომ თითქმის როგორც ქალს მარტო მიწევდა წარმოდგენა აი ამ ხელა უზარმაზარ საკლუბო სივრცეებში და იმ დროიდან თავარი მიზანი იყო რომ ქალები რომლებიც ძალიან მძიმე მდგომარეობაში იმყოფებიან ამ ქვეყანაში განსაკუთრებით თუ კი შევხედავ სტატისტიკას ფემიციდის მაჩვენებელი ძალიან დიდია ჩვენს ქვეყანაში ქალებს არ ეძლებათ შესაძლებლობა რომ საკუთარი პერსპექტივები ხედვები წარმოადგინონ ქალებს არ ეძლებათ ემანსიპაციის გათავისუფლების საშუალება მაინც ჩემი გამოცდილებით ჯერა და წამს დღემდე რომ საკლუბო სივრცეები არის ის ადგილი სადაც საკუთარ თავთან შეგიძლია დარჩე და ეს პერსპექტივები იქ მიღებული გამოცდილება და ცოდნა შემდგომ გამოიყენო შენ როგორც სხეულის გათავისუფლებაში ისე გონების და რაღაც მომავლის დასახვაში შესაბამისად მთელი ჩემი ცხოვრება იყო მიმართული იმისკენ რომ გოგოებს და ქალებს ქონოდათ ეს შესაძლებლობა და დღეს თუ კი რაც ხდება საკლუბო სივრცეებში ვფიქრობ რომ ის ოცნებები რომელიც მქონდა დაახლოებით 25 წლის მანძილზე ახდენილია შემდგომ ხო ეს რას ნიშნავს რომ წამს დამჯერა კულტურული რევოლუციების ტრანსფორმაციის და ეს მარტო საკლუბო სივრცეებს და მუსიკას ხომ არ შეუძლია, ანუ კი მჯერა რომ მუსიკა არის ის მედიუმი, რომელსაც შეუძლია ღრმა დიდი ტრანსფორმაცია მოახდინოს, მაგრამ ის კიდევ დამატებით ბევრი საჭირო. არ უნდა ჯერა რომ მხოლოდ მიწის ქვეშეთი ვერ შეძლებს ამას და ამიტომ დღის შუქზე გარეთ გამოსვლა არის ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი, ამიტომ ყველა ის ქმედება, ყველა ის წამოწყება, ყველა ის მოძრაობა, რომელსაც ვაწარმოეთ, ვფიქრობ, რომ ზუსტად აი ამ გათავისუფლების, ქალების სხეულის, გონების გათავისუფლებას ეხება. Like the sunshine.
And her older son was like, a couple days ago, he posted Anano's video from drama radio, like DJing, and he was like, writing on the story, my mom DJ. That was so cute. I think it became part of it, and I'll tell why. Because clubs actually changed a lot in community, you know. We had a community, like, even for like men, they were like only thing they were interested in standing in the streets, like abusing someone, like swearing, like not having jobs and stuff. Many of the people started going to the clubs and they changed the mentality. Many of the people from the street went to the decks and became DJs, you know. This everything is like this combined I don't know, mechanism which is changing people's mindsets. Actually, the main thing about clubs and the music itself, it is like, this is it. Like, music is changing people and music is
Yeah,
transferring the information to the people, you know.
Changing
so you have to
perspective.
use it like correctly.
We really actually need to talk about it outside of this dark, and this is a light.
This brings a little bit of light to our lives.
And, it's really important to have this kind of projects here, especially in Tbilisi, because we are not used to talk about things. We are not raised like that, especially women here. So it's really important to find people who have shared experience like us. So, yeah, I believe in this.
If you want to do something, don't wait for anything, for anyone. I'm sure you will have someone who is like-minded, and I'm sure that you can do. I have confidence that you can do it. Basically, you just have to get up and do it. That's the thing. You don't have to wait for a savior. You don't have to wait for someone to do something for you. If you're curious and if you're interested in something, just get up and do it. And if you have some questions, you can find us.
Just be confident to experiment, and you will learn by your mistakes.
The confidence will come eventually. Our perspective has shifted every time we recorded a podcast, and every time we had these issues of this is a bigger, not a star, but this is a bigger person. And every time we talk with them, we were like, oh, this is just a regular person doing whatever this person likes. So it's super empowering to see a woman who just does whatever she pleases. And that is the number one thing that you should do. You should do whatever you want to do. That's it.
When I think about it, the two women did this, I'm super proud of you guys.
When your main thing is to make a change, and you can't make this change by just doing something. You have to talk about this,
Yeah.
And you have to raise awareness by saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Yes.
We said it out loud.
What I have understood as a queer person who has lived elsewhere and still decided to come back is that women in Flinta have always been there pushing the society, pushing the culture, but we're always left in the shadows. We don't learn this history of our country. It's like a forgotten history that was gradually erased from our books, especially during the Soviet occupation. And since then, we've been trying to build this country from scratches, when actually we should have been continuing from where we left off. We don't need to learn about feminism from someone else. We need to learn it from our own history, our ancestors, and we need to remember it. We don't need to borrow these values from someone else. We need to reintroduce them to our own vocabulary and speak about this in our own language. Many people do flee this country, but the ones who stay are the ones who push through, who create these micro-societies and environments for the subcultures to thrive in, and are freed from the prejudice and the judgment.